Good afternoon. Hope you're all doing very well. If you're a West Ham fan, I'm sure you're doing pretty well today. Let's be honest. It's been a nice start to the week, isn't it? There's nothing better than going starting your Monday off the back of a big win like that. Tom, I take it you watched the game. What were your thoughts on that before we go into the stadium stuff?
I did, yeah. It was obviously brilliant. Like we was talking about before, it just massively improves the weekend, doesn't it? When West Ham play well and get a win. Yeah, like you said in your review, felt like it was really comfortable, actually, strangely comfortable. I mean, we talked about Arsenal's lack of firepower before the game in the preview, but they really didn't trouble us. And I actually strangely felt comfortable watching the game. I felt like, yeah, we're going to see this out. And yeah, like again, to repeat what you said, Graham Potter's got it spot on. I think the tactics worked really well. We knew we was going to go into this back three again, and then just trying to hit on the break, and it just worked. Just worked, didn't it? It was just we did a real job on them. I don't think Arsenal really troubled us at all in the game, like I say. So yeah, just brilliant, and it had that little added sort of extra bit of it derails Arsenal's title bid. Declan Rice, him coming off, and it just a few little bits like that as well. Just make it seem like such a good weekend. What a great result.
We have a habit, West Ham, don't we, being that club, being the team that the big teams don't like playing at certain those big moments. We really do have a way of rocking up and sort of spoiling the party a little bit. So, and as you say, the fact it had. Not only it was a bit of revenge, obviously, the fact that they turned us over so comfortably at our place. So it was nice to go there and get a win over a team like that. But also, as you say, that added ingredient, see Declan Rice being taken off, obviously got a fair bit of stick from the away fans as well, which is just great. Always just it really added everything that day, didn't it, for West Ham? We've got a few comments here coming through. Amy Robinson's just said, thoughts on Potter's tactics for the Arsenal game. It was a huge win, which is right. It was a big win, Amy. I want to speak to you about it, Tom. I mean, it felt like a little bit Moyes-esque, the way we set up, which I think was the right way to do it. But I think we executed it very, very well. Like you say, I didn't feel uncomfortable in that game. Considering the fact we're playing a team that are chasing for were chasing for a title, I should say. Really, I think that pretty much put the nail in the coffin for that. But I felt like you, Tom. It was comfortable, I really was. I was expecting at some point that we were going to be right under the caution, dealing with a lot of. Well, we sustained a fair bit of pressure from them, but considering all that pressure that they and the amount of the possession they had, I don't really recall many chances for Arsenal in that game. Do you really?
No, not at all. I can only think of a couple of saves Areola had to make. But yeah, I thought his tactics were spot on. We talk all the time about Premier League managers needing to be adaptable, and Potter's showed that in his first few weeks as West Ham manager. You do need to pick and choose your times when you're going low block and trying to hit on the break. You don't want to see that all the time, of course, and especially a couple of years into the job, you don't want to see that every week. But it made no sense for us to chase Arsenal and try and press them really high, because if they score an early goal off the back of you trying to press the game and try to be really aggressive, then the game's in their hands. They can just pass it about and control the game from there. Just almost letting them have the ball. They didn't have the firepower, as we talked about. So that was the perfect tactic. You have the ball, we'll sit in our shape, and we know we've got Bowen and Kudus on the break. And obviously, Kudus' great performance massively helped, because he gave us that outlet that, he just holds people off, as you said before. So, yeah, tactics spot on. You can't argue with that. We felt like that would be the way we would play, and it obviously rang true. And I think that was the only way we were going to get 3 points. I think if we'd have gone toe-to-toe with Arsenal, even with their lack of firepower, I think we'd come out short. So, yeah, got it spot on for me.
Yeah. I think we had to play the game sensibly, as you say. We couldn't have gone toe to toe. It wouldn't have made sense. I think the way we set up got it absolutely spot on. I think Potter had it absolutely bang on in terms of how he was going to handle Mikel Arteta's sort of tactics, because they really struggled. Arsenal, they didn't create a lot. They didn't have a lot of time. So I know they've got their issues in terms of players out, but I mean, I don't really have much sympathy for that. They've just had a January transfer window. All clubs have injuries. We have enough of our own. We've got now Antonio, Fulkrug, Somerville, Paqueta, all missing, and I thought we handled it really well. I mean, the feeling at the moment is very good. Obviously, Daniel's saying here, feels like the first time in years the fan base have been unified again. It does feel a little bit like that. It's been such a horrible season, Daniel, and we've all really suffered it. It's been a real long old slog, and I've said enough times I've been looking forward to May, so it was really nice. It feels like that sort of win of what it meant as well in terms of Arsenal as well, in terms of the ramifications of it. It feels like it made it a little bit worthwhile. Actually, it was a big moment for us, and I'm going to say this: I actually feel that when you look back at moments of West Ham, and not just West Ham, football teams in general, you have sometimes those games where you get the big result and then it then goes on to become something that you can really build on. It builds that momentum. I do wonder whether that is going to be that game for Graham Potter and West Ham now, that game where you could the turning point of a period where we've had a few ups and down results. The results haven't been brilliant under Potter, but the performances have been pretty good. It just feels like that win now just gives that confidence that we can go and kick on. Of course, as well, it does help the fact we've got Leicester at home on Thursday, which I'm really looking forward to. Tom, what's your thoughts quickly on the Leicester game? You feeling good for that one?
Yeah, I mean, without putting pressure on us, it has to be that turning point, like you say. It kind of is the perfect game for us. But we can't go into it with complacency. We can't go into it thinking, well, we beat Arsenal, so we're bound to beat Leicester. It's still a Premier League game. We've seen before at home, we found it difficult. So we actually really need to get the 3 points in a good performance, because I don't think we've put back-to-back wins together this season. I might be wrong, but I don't think we have actually won 2 in a row before this season. So we need to get that off our back. We need to say, okay, we actually can provide some consistency, because you said before the game, optimism. We know we can win these games against Arsenal, these one-off games. It's actually the games against Leicester, the run of the mill, get your 3 points, get your team playing well. So optimistic, but we need to warn against complacency would be my only thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I do think we don't want to get carried away as well. You know what I mean? It was a big result. We're going to build on that now, and I think Leicester provides a perfect opportunity. Really, they're a team that looks well. For me, they're relegated. I'm pretty sure most people feel the same, and the way that they're shipping in goals as well, it couldn't come at a better time really to be playing them. I feel so. There's a good opportunity for us also to get rid of this terrible goal deficit that we've got at the moment hanging over us. So not that it makes a great deal of difference now. I feel like we're sort of plodding all towards the summer now, but I'm quite happy with that. I'm at the fact that we've got Potter in now. I just want to see us end the season strong, and this is really like a pre-season, isn't it, for next season already? We've got Abby saying here, feeling so positive after that huge win. Looking forward to Thursday night. Absolutely can't wait. Honestly, I wish it was tonight. To be honest, we were playing. You know, that's how it feels, isn't it? After a big win, you just can't wait to get back out there again and see West Ham again. This is Miss Katrina Chambers. Said, I wish I could have been there. It sounded like a good and great game on Match of the Day. We're walking on air this weekend. Yeah, absolutely. I still am. To be honest with you, I can't believe it. I can't stop smiling. I'd take my daughter down to school today to drop her off and that, and our girls, and there was a few people I had to dart over to and give them a little bit of an earache over that one. So yeah, I'm well pleased. Another point as well, Aaron Wan-Bissaka has been fantastic. This is from Stephen, and is still at 15 million. I mean, mate, he was outstanding, wasn't he? Wan-Bissaka once again. What a signing! 15 million quid. I mean, Man United. I mean, we've seriously pulled their pants down, don't you think, Tom?
Massively, yeah, definitely signing a summer for me. I was confident with his defensive capabilities, but actually, like, since he's been at the club, I've been pleasantly surprised about how good he is going forward. And that again showcased on Saturday with the assist for Bowen's goal. And if you're going to play counter-attacking football, you need people that can carry the ball, and he can do that. So yeah, really pleased. He could be our right back or right wing back for a good few years, and at 50 million, like you say, absolute steal. Brilliant sign.
Mark brings up another good point here as well about Ollie Scholes. I mean, he's certainly cemented his place in the team now, as far as I'm concerned. He was excellent. I mean, there wasn't one player out there that played badly. Even Mavropanos, I know there was a little bit of anxiety when he came on, and think, well, half an hour, and they did give away a stupid foul towards the end. But overall, I thought he was okay. He was typical Mavropanos. He plays okay, but there's an error coming, and then there was again right at the death. He just swings his boot out. But Ollie Scholes, though, yeah, mate. I mean, what a player we've got on our hands here. It feels like we could have another real gem from our academy, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Love it. It's great to see players coming through your academy, and hopefully get some really serious game time for the rest of the season. Like I say, it's almost like a pre-season now, and you can go into next season being that starting left back or left wing back, and go from strength to strength. I think really defensively, I'm really confident in him. What he needs to maybe improve on is on the ball going forward, but that will come with experience. That will come with just him getting more confident, more game time. So yeah, great player to have coming through. And I feel like left back has been a bit of a problem area. I know Emerson's been been okay at times, but it's been a problem area for us for a few years. So if we can solve that going forward, that'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely. Just before we go on then, so we've got William saying it was an outstanding result on Saturday. Hopefully we kick on from here. Aaron Bissaka is the best signing ever. We've got Stephen saying Potter was raving about Guilherme in training last week. He was, yeah. I mean, I feel like that's another player that we could see more of now, especially now the pressure's off. I mean, relegation's gone. I mean, I wasn't really there, really. Let's be honest. I don't think it was a real concern, but it was nice now to get that bottom three losing. We got that win. It just feels like it's now completely confirmed. Now we don't really need to worry about that. So I feel like there's going to be a fair amount of experimentation going on between now and the end of the season where we've got the opportunity to do so. Guilherme, I'm really interested to see actually how well he does working under Potter. It'd be interesting to see, wouldn't it? Because he's looked quite bright actually from what I've seen of him so far. And this is from Neil. I want to look forward to next season, but will Sullivan really have to leave the football side of things to Potter and his team? And what we left Brady and already conducting the player negotiations. I think with that, Neil, we've brought in Neil McCauley, haven't we? Who's the head of recruitment. I don't actually think, as much as it's widely stated, I don't actually think Sullivan's actually as involved as people think. I think I'm not saying he's not involved at all. He's quite hands-on owner, as we know, but I actually don't think he's been that heavily involved in transfers at West Ham for quite a while. We know that he was involved in the Somerville deal in the summer. I think that was it. I think that was basically it. I don't think he had much say in anything else. I think it was very much down to Steidton and others. So I'm actually more optimistic now that Sullivan's actually has taken a back seat in terms of transfers. As I say, I don't think he's completely out of it. He obviously is the ultimate decision maker when it comes to the financing side of it. But I think now the fact that he paid the compensation to get McCauley in from Chelsea suggests that actually he doesn't want a hands-on approach and picking players. I feel like he may well come to the table and say, look, I've got an agent's approached me with these couple of players, etc., to see what Potter thinks. But I think that's as far as it will go. I'm not really too concerned about that. If anything, I feel like having Potter here now, who's got that relationship with Brady, would really help things, because if he's got an issue with Sullivan, he can go to Brady, and I think obviously he listens to her. So let's wait and see. Right, let's talk about other things, pressing matters now. I mean, obviously we enjoy it. I want to continue talking about beating Arsenal and the fact that we've got a huge win on our hands. But let's talk about the stadium, because it's a big one. It's a big talking point at the moment. Karren Brady's interview, Tom, you've seen it. I know you've seen it. What are your first thoughts on that, mate? We haven't really discussed this yet. So I know it didn't go down very well amongst the majority of West Ham fans.
Yeah, and understandably so, because it is, as you said before, completely tone deaf, not reading the room, particularly before the Arsenal game. So we're in a really bad run of form. Things are just feeling negative, and you come out and give that kind of interview and talk about how great the stadium is, when people who go know it's just not at that level. So it doesn't surprise me. I think the ownership and the way the football clubs run, there always feels like there's an importance within the club in terms of their relationship with the media. So the fact they've got Sky Sports to do the interview, we know that David Sullivan and people have listened to things like Talk Sport and Sky Sports before, and even made them sort of apologise for claims they've made. So the media image is very important to our board, I think, and the West Ham owners. And I think that's again why they did it. They want to other fans to say, look, we're taking care of our fans, we're taking care of our club. Look at this stadium behind us; it's amazing. And in reality, we know that's not the case. So yeah, really disappointing. I just, like I say, the tone deaf, didn't read the room, and just not the time. Maybe do that in the summer when it's a bit quiet and no one really cares, but not halfway through a season which has been really, really poor.
They never get it right, West Ham. I don't understand what Karren Brady felt would come out of this interview at all. What they were anticipating. We've had a dreadful season. There's a lot of discontent at West Ham, not even taking into account this concession business that's going on. So to have the audacity to sit there in some bloody swanky London stadium, director's lounge, going, "Oh, isn't this wonderful?" I mean, it's so arrogant, so wrong. as I say, and then you've got bloody Jack Sullivan interviewing her, for God's sake. I mean, he's hardly going to challenge her, is he? And say, by the way, this is a shithole. That ain't right. This ain't right. You know, it was really poor. It really, and it's even though we've had a good result, it still gets, you know, it's under my skin the fact she went and did that. Amy's just come back and said, this was a statement from Karren Brady in that interview. She said, I always make the decisions I believe are right for the right reasons, and coming here was the right decision for the right reason. Look, I will defend Karren Brady in one aspect of this, right? And that's she's a businesswoman. She's not a West Ham fan. She's not a football fan. And ultimately, her remit being at West Ham is to build the brand, to get the club to being bigger and to have more revenue so we can challenge. So that's her remit. She's not really a football fan. She's not going to come out and talk like a West Ham fan. So I don't think we can expect her to come out and say those things. I think what annoys me with her is just this. She comes out to say things like, we're here to help West Ham fans. We want to make the stadium better and things like that. She said previously in the past. I mean, it certainly didn't say that in that interview. She was making out to sound like the stadium was bloody perfect the way she was talking. But I don't think their actions ever align with what they're saying. So, you know, this, for instance, the first one is the wall they put up. And that's right by where I sit, right? I don't know why they've put that wall up. It's done nothing. No one likes it. Not one person's ever liked it. Everyone complained about it, and yet there it stands. Why don't they just take that down? Why don't they just say, look, we put it up. We realise that fans don't like it. It's killing the atmosphere in that corner. Take it down. It's an easy win. The fans would be straight on board and go, well done, club. You've listened to us. We're going to deal with it. But they don't. And I think it's things like that automatically make me just annoyed that she comes out here and spouts off about West Ham fans and family and all that crap, when really they don't really seem to have any real interest in it. I don't think they're that bothered really about annoying West Ham fans. And that's what I feel like frustrates me with the football club. They're very out of touch. And obviously, as we know, they call us customers as well. She's done it a couple of times, hasn't she? Which I think isn't good. No, I'm not impressed with her. I mean, obviously, we've got a few comments here. Bring on the wall. Yeah, bring on the wall from Mark. Exactly. Bring it down. I'm sick of it. Epoxy bloody thing. What have we got here? This is from more about anything else. I feel bad for West Ham fans old enough to remember Upton Park and the bowling. Yeah, it was shame. It was a bad interview, and I do miss Upton Park at times. Stephen said I can't stand any of them. That's the only problem. The ownership. Every time you feel that there's a bit of momentum behind the owners and the fans, there's a little bit of coming together, and I felt that we had that at the stadium. Sorry, the European trophy success. That was probably the closest we've ever been with the ownership, where it felt like they were starting to bridge a bit of a gap. We could have started a bit of a fresh slate, really, gone into it, but they've gone out of their way again just to disrupt things. I mean, this concession business is horrendous. Tom, have you got any ideas in your mind when you think of London Stadium that come to mind that you feel like if you did this, or a couple of little ideas just to improve things that are quite easy wins? I think the wall would be an obvious one, an easy one to sort out. Is there anything else that comes to mind from your side that you think that they could introduce?
Yeah, there's bits and bobs which has been spoken about on various media platforms before. I mean, the first one from the Brentford game, getting the time in the bubbles right is quite low hanging fruit. I mean, that is your basic. Get that right, and you know it's quite easy. I know it only happened once, but come on, that's an easy one. I think things like financially, you move to that stadium. The whole thing about moving to that stadium is cheaper football for a season ticket and whatever. And we have got the cheapest season ticket, but we're also the most expensive for your mascots. So if you want your child to be a mascot, that's the most expensive in the league, joint most expensive. Make that free. A lot of clubs actually make that free, and like that is just an easy win. The beer is the most expensive, I believe, in the league, if that's still the case. The last time I checked. Again, what we're doing there. So financially make things better. The ticket exchange, I think, doesn't work personally. I think you can make that better. I think the money, if I'm right, goes to your account that you can only buy West Ham memorabilia.
Yeah, which is ridiculous.
Make that cash, so people will go, well, actually, I will sell my ticket on the ticket exchange at a lower price because I'll actually get cash and I can do something else with that. You will then have less empty seats, so that's an easy win. There's big things for the accessibility for me. I know we're talking about the atmosphere mainly, but if you make the journey into the ground better, the journey out of the ground better, by just funneling people in a more organised, better way, I feel like that would improve the mood. When I get into the ground, I'm just in a bad mood because it's taken me so long to get in there. When I'm getting home, it feels like we're herded like sheep, basically. And I just, I think there's some wins in terms of accessibility, definitely, to make the getting in and out of the ground better. But there's just so many things, like the experience. This is me personally, I might be wrong, but I don't like the DJ, to be honest. I just think that play the old school West Ham, Clash, the Jam, all those, what we used to at Upton Park, that's what I loved. But that's just my personal opinion. People might feel differently. Also, youngsters coming through might feel differently. But a few ideas there. But financially, just make it easier. You know, the beer cheaper. If you want to make your kid a mascot, do that for free. Why charge? I don't know how much it is. I think it might be 700 quid. I saw
it's ridiculous. Yeah. It's wrong.
Make it free. Who cares? Like, it just things like that. They're not understanding things, are they? And that's
no.
where I get frustrated.
No, as you say, I mean, exactly that, and especially with the financial side of it, you just say things like mascots. Why charge? I mean, what a short-sighted view to have, and what are you making out of it? Is it really making any difference to your bottom line? No, pennies. It's talking. It's not worth it. I don't know why we haven't done the safe standing section at the stadium yet. I don't understand it. We're a stadium. We're a bunch of fans that persistently stand anyway, always known for it. I totally understand it, and I've got total sympathy for people that can't stand or might be a little bit older, struggle to do so, or they've got little kids with them, they don't want to be doing that and standing on seats. I totally get that. So have sections to say that area is all standing, all game, and that, again, create a good atmosphere. Have make it a lively area, and put it right by the away fans. It's noisy, intense, and it'll build the atmosphere up. Again, easy win. Won't cost the company. The company, bloody the club. I play something like Karren Brady now. You know what I mean? And like you say, Tom, exactly what I've said down there. Music needs improving, but better music before the game. Get the crowd up. Old classics, a bit of rock music, sort of like from 70s, 80s, from London, as you say, a bit of Clash, things like that. Just get the crowd up and running. It should be a bit more traditional. I think outside as well. I know that they have done a few bits and pieces. They have put things outside and bars and things, but I feel like there could be more. One thing they haven't got, they've got no toilets out there. There's no toilets. So it's not really an area people can stay for too long. They can have a couple of drinks. They've got to go in the stadium to go use the loo. And once you're in there, you can't get out. So they need to change that. Get some toilets outside. It's only Portaloos. And also as well, the last game I went to was the Brentford game. And it was so cold in that bloody stadium, freezing, like absolutely freezing. Like, just get some bloody heating in there, you know what I mean? Because it's not compact anymore, Upton Park. It was obviously brickwork. It was all tight. So although they had no heaters in there, it got warm because of the body warmth and that. And that stadium's so big and vast. When you're standing outside having a beer, like in the concourse, it's like being outside, like because there's nothing really above you. So it's really cold. Again, these aren't expensive changes. We're not saying dig up the whole ground and smash down stands or anything. This is quite straightforward stuff. Also, mate, honestly, right, there's a TV screen. I will take some comments in a second. There's TV screens as well scattered around the ground, showing highlights or what have you. There's bird shit, right, all down one of the screens, and it's been there since we moved in, and they've never cleaned it. You're just like, can't you just go round and just like, if I was Karren Brady, why can't she walk the stadium? You know what I mean? Walk the stadium. So it's right, I'm going to walk around every stand. I want to go and see what's going on. And if there's anything you go, right, do you know what, that needs sorting out? It's things like that. Just get some bigger screens, make it better. Do you know, make the experience better for fans. I think that's the problem. Anyway, let's go through some comments anyway. Let's see what others are saying. We've got this from Fremmer saying, basically, she said, if you don't like the new stadium, you don't like change. She's shaming people who criticise the current experience. Tom, I mean, that's a big comment there from Fremmer. I mean, she turned around and said, people don't like change. People don't like change when it's crap. That's what they don't like change. Like, you can say that, okay, there is a resistance to change because that's human nature, but I think it was Gio on Hammer's Chat said it about moving house and said, if you were to downsize your house and go to, let's say you've got a lovely, 4-bedroom, beautiful house. And I said, right, we're going to go and live in that squat. You wouldn't go, oh, you just don't like change. That's your problem. You wouldn't go, well, no, it's not to do with change. It's to do the change isn't for the better. So I didn't like that comment. What did you think of that?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're dealing with people's emotions. People have such certain emotional ties to Upton Park. It's, my childhood was coming through there and my dad's, and you're dealing with that sort of emotional tie. So in the house moving analogy, you've got to bear that in mind. So if you are moving, like you say, it's got to be bigger and better. Like, you look at Tottenham and their sort of stadium move, they do go walk into that ground. I think, well, this is a proper ground now, this new stadium, what we've got. And I'm sure they'll have their own sort of groans about it. But you sort of look around the London Stadium and think, is this better than what we had? I mean, yes, it's got more people here, but is it any better than what we had? So when you're dealing with that emotional people people have that such love of Upton Park as we all did, you need to make sure that the small bits just make sense. Like you say, just walk around the stadium, just go, right, that can be improved, that can be improved. And then people might start coming into the ground in a better mood. So if you're gonna make this big change, which we've done, make sure it's right. And at the moment, they're not getting it right at all.
No, they're not. They're not getting it right, and it feels like it's just like a never-ending battle, isn't it? At the moment, Marcus said they said the reason we couldn't develop Upton Park was because of the bus garage that is no longer there. Correct. I mean, I've never understood the arguments to not redevelop Upton Park. It used to drive me mad.
Yeah.
Oh, we can't because there's buildings behind it. Well, we're a massive Premier League football club. I'm sure we can get something arranged. I mean, other clubs don't ever seem to struggle with it. I think Tottenham knocked down flipping a whole street and businesses, homes. Yeah, we're building our stadium here. We couldn't move a bus stop. You know what I mean? Do me a favour. You know what I mean? There's no way. So this is from Julian Leslie saying, I think we should do a Wimbledon and take our club back. Start again, the lowest league. We have the smallest stadium, and never. I do understand there's that desire, and I feel like there will be breakaways and club people wanting to do that, and I get it. You know, people have. I know a lot of people now that don't go West Ham and go to support their local teams in lower leagues because they just find it a bit more of a connection to it now than West Ham. I mean, it's difficult. I love West Ham, always will, and that's never going to change. It's just. It's hard, isn't it? At times, when like you say, this isn't just something we do occasionally. It's something we live with day in, day out. West Ham and like a lot of all other football fans, it's a massive part of your life, and you can't sort of drop it. She's treating it like we're talking about popping down to the theatre, like your local cinema is not quite right anymore. Go to another one. We can't just pop out and go and see another football game. You know what I mean? Go, all right, I'll leave West Ham now. I'll go and support Fulham. All right, no worries. I mean, it doesn't work that way, and I think Karren Brady had that attitude a little bit. Attitude. If you don't like change, if you don't like it, basically move on. Yeah. It's a real shame. Darren said, what happened to the retractable seats to get closer to the pitch? I mean, we didn't get them, Darren. That's what happened. We were promised something. We never got it. That's what they said. You know, it's all going to be this mechanical, beautiful retractable seat. Well, flip it hell. It was the cheapest scaffold I've ever seen in my life. It was embarrassing. And it's still there. I mean, it's like we've been here nearly 10 years. It's absolutely embarrassing. This is another partner. I just want to mention this as well. This is from going back a little bit. Make West Ham great again. Forest had a fantastic season. With counter-attack football, possession overrated. Absolutely. You know what I mean? And also we've done that. To be honest, haven't we? When we did it under Moyes, we finished 6th, and that's all we did all season. We were very good at it. I'm disappointed with Karren Brady's interview. I don't think it's very good. I do feel like the club. Look, I do want to take a point. I don't think the club are trying to do things wrong. I don't think they go out of their way to get things wrong. I think they want to make things better at West Ham. I do think that. I just don't think they know how to do it. I don't think they understand the club. They don't really understand the fans. They're not really interested too much in listening to the fans. That's their problem. They're very know-all. I think. I don't think they've got terrible intentions too much. Apart from I would say about the concessions. That's the only thing I would say. I do feel that they've got that badly wrong. I am hearing rumours that they're reviewing this now, and they're going to possibly look to, I don't know, hopefully change their minds on it. But I've not seen any suggestions that that's definitely going to happen. They definitely haven't come out of there with any appetite to make it sound like they're going to make any changes to it. No. But I really, again, though, we talk about relations with the club. Surely that's an easy win as well. I mean, we're talking a few $100,000. It's not, in terms of what it would be to the football club, it's not massive money. You know what they're trying to achieve here. It's not going to make a massive difference. So again, if they were to make those sort of changes to the stadium, get rid of this concession business, just say, look, we've made a mistake. We were guided wrong, whatever. We felt that this would be a good way to go. We realised we've made a mistake. Hold your hands up.
I mean, with that one, it's I saw on the overlap that Kieran, the athletic financial guy, was saying that West Ham is the only profitable club in the Premier League at the moment. So in this case of following suit, because other clubs are scrapping the concessions, well, we're the only profitable club in the Premier League, so do we need to do it? What is the benefit of being profitable if you're not giving something back to the fans? Again, it's just not reading the room. It's just not understanding what the fans want and not getting that. And we spoke about this before. It's almost like Karren Brady in that whole interview was a politician talking, and there's some country reacting. You're not actually understanding what the fans want. You just talking like a politician. So that's where I get frustrated. There is certain things that you could do, like I say, pretty easily, and you would actually get a really warm response for that. So yeah, that I find really frustrating.
Yeah, absolutely. I do. Yeah, the whole experience of it at the moment, I'm finding incredibly frustrating, to be honest. We've got even away fans, Kane 11 Stadium. Yeah, I'm sick of it. You sold your soul for this shit. I'll hear that every bloody week, and they're right. You know what I mean? You do sit there and feel it. And it's a shame because I was feeling more connected with London Stadium over the last couple. I've been as gradually over time, you do get a little bit used to it, but I do feel this concession business feels like it's sort of put like a bat right through that. You know what I mean? I feel like now it's a big setback. The relationship between the fans is something they've got to get right. They've got to sort it out. They really do. This is from Paul. He's saying Brady and Sullivan are not West Ham fans. It's a business opportunity for them. World-class football and a world-class stadium. We were told that, mate. We were told a lot of things, weren't we? And I feel that's where there's a lot of anger. I feel West Ham fans feel lied to a lot, and we feel like it's ongoing all the time. Doghouse has said, "Don't confuse the board with the club. We are the football fans, absolutely." And they are. They're not West Ham fans. We know that. As I say, I don't think they've got terrible intentions for the football club. I just don't. They don't get it. That's the issue we've got with them. Amy's asking me if I'm going to renew my season ticket next season because I had a bit of a moan up the other week online. I got a bit of criticism for that. So yeah, it's jury's still out at the moment for me. Mainly only, I've got to be honest, because of money. I'm trying to save to buy a house, so I'm struggling to make it all work. So yeah, we'll wait and see. But we'll wait and see with that one. So this is Cockney Boy saying, "Is the business always a compromise? Even if they were to offer a third of concessions, it would be a start. They need to do something. I just wish they would just reverse it. And the way they're trying to backpedal as well is to suggest that it's because other clubs are doing this. Who gives a shit? You know what I mean? Who cares? Other clubs are doing it. Just don't. You know what I mean? Don't need to follow." And then there's Paul's added to it as well. We'll be here when they're long gone. Well, let's wait and see when they're long gone because it feels like how long we had Sullivan now? 15 years. It don't feel like it's ending anytime soon. Yes, there we have it. I mean, look, as much as it's been, this is a frustrating situation. What we're talking about with West Ham at the moment, I don't want to bring the mood down as well either. It's been a good weekend, isn't it? As football, we haven't had many this season, and I feel like in terms of on the pitch, we could hopefully gearing up for a half positive end to this season, which would be fantastic when ahead of the summer. Tom, what are your final thoughts before we wrap things up? Are you feeling good then in terms of things on the pitch? I'm talking not so much off of it.
Yeah, that's all we can do as fans, isn't it? Is support the club, support Graham Potter and the players. That is our job. And those that went to the Emirates on Saturday did it very well. So that's all we can do. And I hope Thursday we can create a good atmosphere for the Leicester game. And yeah, just try, as I said before, just try and enjoy football again. And, it's sort of detach ourselves from the owners and from the board and that level. We are West Ham as a football club and we support the team and the players. And if we do that and we start winning games for the end of the season, then, yeah, we'll be all happy hammers. And that's what we want to see. So, yeah, all good.
Absolutely, yeah. Look, I'm feeling very much the same. I'm feeling a lot more optimistic today. Obviously, naturally after a big win like that, and yeah, let's just hope and pray that we can get this concession business sorted. I think that'll be a big step forward in terms of building the relations again with the club. I mean, I'm not holding my breath for it, but yeah, in terms of Thursday, we've got a preview coming up that'll be out on Wednesday for the Leicester game. There'll be a couple of obviously videos in between there as well. But look. Thanks very much for tuning in and giving any comments in. What we'll do is we're going to I'm going to do like a piece for the website and we'll talk about sort of key points off the back of this. And we feel like that we put forward to the club, easy wins, to get that stadium better. And, as we said, not expensive either, things they can just sort out. So let's hope that we can start moving things forward with them. But look, thanks, Tom, for joining us. And we'll see you soon. As I say, we've got a few more videos this week. And until then, come on your ones.